Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&Chew Guy, and this is going to be going under the playlist Experiments. Although I have a feeling that this is also going to act as a Trojan horse for a review and possibly one of my little tangent rants. Anyway, what this really is about at its base, anyway, was I was out picking up some pouches of half and half pipe tobacco a couple days ago, and I saw this in the store I was at, and I was like, you know what? That Viking dry snuff that I had a fail on a while back, it's in such bad condition, I don't even know if I want to use that to try to put it in pouches. Let me pick up some of this stuff. According to Dirty Pat Walsh, it's got good nicotine content, the American dry snuffs, and some people may or may not actually dip them. Pat also has a video where he shows a technique where you rub the stuff on your gums. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe this stuff is a good fit. I've never had it before, never bought a can, never even saw one really up close except for on some of Berg's Dip Reviews videos. Let me buy this stuff. So you get an ounce .1 for like $7. It's a little bit expensive, but really that's like, let me show you that, the cans that I've just been doing for the dry snuff reviews, the 5-gram tins. Yeah. So this thing is like fairly good sized, which is sort of what I needed because I needed a good amount because I'm going to be putting it in pouches. So I get the thing home and I'm looking at it, and you know, and this is one of the things why people are like, do people dip this stuff? Because the warning on it says this product can cause gum disease and tooth loss. And as gritty as I've heard it is, maybe you don't want to be putting this up your nose. Anyway, so I'm looking at the packaging and whatnot, and then I get to the top, and it says Quality Helm Snuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. Quality Snuff? Helm is the plastic manufacturer? I'm like, wait a minute. Helm sounds familiar. And that's because it is familiar to me, and I never, ever made the connection. This is a product of Swisher International. Another reason why I never bought a can of this before. But Helm is of George W. Helm Snuff Mill from a century ago in Helmetta, New Jersey, which is sort of mid-Jersey. I guess it's slightly to the southwest of New York City. And I'm like, wait, Helm? So really, it's not quality snuff, it's quality Helm snuff. So I get on a fact-finding mission. As it turns out, and somewhat to my dismay, basically the entire line, with the exception of Kayak, of Swisher International's smokeless tobacco products, was bought, at least in name, from the Helm Company of Helmetta, New Jersey. Railroad Mills is the original name of that locale. That's what the locals called that area. Helmetta, the town, was, people are going to like, wait, did they named the town after the snuff mill? Actually, yeah, they did, because the town started, I don't know, somewhere around 1900, when the owner, George, built 105 houses for his employees in the surrounding area of the snuff mill. Now, the snuff mill, I believe, has been knocked down. It was there as of 2012, the building. But I believe it has been knocked down since then to make room for some sort of townhouses or something, you know. Evidently, I'm not quite sure when Swisher International bought it, but they evidently kept it in operation for a number of years until 1993, when they moved the entire operation to Wheeling, West Virginia. But basically, with the exception of kayak, as I said, their whole smokeless tobacco inventory of Swisher International is originally of the Helm Snuff Mill. That includes all the dry snuffs. There's Navy, the couple railroad mills. There's a couple others. I think maybe Checkerberry's one of them. Then the male pouch chewing tobacco, Chattanooga Chew, and Lancaster were all Helm products. And probably most disturbingly, the Redwood Snuff and Silver Creek were two of a number, the others being now discontinued, moist snuff products. And this is probably the real kicker. The Redwood moist snuff of my review of a week or two ago, that was probably the most god-awful thing I've ever put in my lip, evidently at one time was a quality product with a, at least up and down the East Coast and out to the Ohio Valley, a good reputation. It was a high quality product. Go figure. So that sort of really raised my angst with Swisher International, because now they're basically just full-blown on historical aspects of the United States. But, you know, whatever. So I get upset about stuff like that. When, like, I find out, like, somebody's bought the names and is completely trashing a brand that has, you know, 150 years worth of history, that, I find that disturbing. Anyway, so I guess everybody's sitting there wondering right about now, is he going to open that? Is he going to actually try this stuff? And you know what? I am. I am going to open this at the 7:20 mark, and I may even try to take it nasally. Because I've never seen this stuff in person. So I guess there is a sort of, I feel sort of like an indentation, like on the side of a dip can. So I'm just going to cut around that with my thumbnail if I can, and see if I can get this lid off. Now I'm guessing that the sides of this, the top and the bottom, are plastic. I'm guessing the sides are maybe cardboard. I haven't seen one of Berg's Dip reviews of this stuff recently. Oh, wow. All right. Oh, and it is loose. Okay, so. Or is that just the label that's loose? No, the top's coming off. Wow. Okay. That's it's pretty. I expected it to be darker than that. Let me get the stuff spoon out here. Actually, that's. I was expecting to see like little pebbles in this thing. I was like, this stuff is going to be bad news. But it's actually a little more powdery than I expected. I don't know if I can. Now that's coming up lighter than it is. You should probably color-wise go by the shaded area over here. I'm gonna actually like pinch this stuff and feel what it feels like in between my hands, because I'm a little. Now, Dirty Pat Walsh says this stuff has quite a nicotine kick. Sorry if I'm acting like. It feels pretty soft. I thought this stuff was supposed to be real, like, gritty to the touch. Okay, you know what? I'm going to rub that out between my hands, and then I'm just going to... Wow. Wow, that is really strong. Pat's right. That has a kick to it. I don't think I'd even do, you know what? It does give a little burn, but to tell you the truth, it's not as bad as the, mind you, I wasn't doing a lot. My fingers were basically powdered. But the little that I did do wasn't as burning as that last Wilson of Sharrow product. Although I feel like my voice is going deeper. Uh-oh. Let me try this again. Yeah. It's not bad. It's different. It's different. It's a very... Now, this is the Railroad Mills sweet version. It's a Scotch dry snuff, but this is the sweet version of it. It is in a blue label, like the engine, the steam locomotive, and the lettering is in blue. There is another one that looks exactly like this that is red. The lettering and the locomotive is red, and I guess that's the non-sweet version. It's interesting. It's very I don't even know how quite to put it. It's tobacco. The scent is tobacco, but there is a sweetness to it. I'm not quite sure how they would go about doing that. It's not bad though. It really isn't. Now I'm going to pouch this stuff because one of the reasons I decided to go with this was because hearing that it had a high nicotine content. But it is a lot finer than I thought it would be. I thought that it was going to be, even between the fingers, feel gritty. And it really isn't. Mind you, I am not going to knock out a couple full bumps of this with my hand while in front of witnesses. Let me put it that way. But no, now, I can't imagine. That's a lot. I mean, even for somebody that exclusively does nasal snuff, that's a lot of snuff. It's got to be being used some other way. That's like a lifetime supply. I can't imagine. I don't know. It seems the side of the packaging is also plastic with these. So that's sort of good as well. Now, the lid does, it has a little rib going around it. It is a snap-down lid, which is good. And the walls of the lid are pretty deep. So, well, you can see where they go down to. But there is a very slight rib going around, and you can actually hear it. I'll do it down here because I think that's where my mic is. That's a good thing. Anyway, this was, I think it was $7 and change, something like that. That, for the amount, is really not bad. I mean, those little 5-gram tins that I've been reviewing, they're cheap, but they're $1.50 for a 5-gram tin. Plus, then you have to ship it in from England, so I figure out what percentage of the shipping is depending on how many products you are getting shipped. But they're only 5 grams. This has got to be going on somewhere around 30. That's really not bad. That's comparable to English and German products. So it's interesting. It's a sweetened natural tobacco scent, and it's all right. It is originally of George W. Helm Snuff Mills of Helmetta, New Jersey. The town's still there. The mill may or may not be. It was it was scheduled for demo in late 2012. They're saying the next year. Whether it ever followed through, I do not know. Guys, this has been, as I said, it will be in the experiments list because this is what I will be putting into pouches. And maybe I'll figure out some other stuff too. But really, I mean, I don't know how one would go about trying to dip this. That's why I thought it was a lot grittier. Really, as a nasal, I mean, you got to be real careful with it, but it's finer milled than I thought it would be. This has not been a bad experience. Now, mind you, I basically rubbed it into my thumb and finger and then just did that twice, yeah, and I still felt nicotine off it. But I mean, this isn't. It's not the freaking show that I thought it was going to be. Let me put it that way. So yeah, I mean, maybe I'll experiment. Maybe I'll try more of these. I don't know. Got me wondering now. Anyway, this has run the usual ridiculous amount of time as usual. Sorry. Do take care of yourselves. I will be back tomorrow. We will be doing a plug and I've lost it. Oh, McChrystal's Smoker's Blend and a snooze review. I'll talk to you guys. Do take care of yourselves and God bless.